everybody, Jennifer Maker here. It's a beautiful day to make something cheerful. Today I'm going to show you how to make a waterfall card, which is a kind of card that opens like a waterfall to reveal the magic inside. Our waterfall card has an adorable rainbow that is sure to put a smile on the face of whomever is lucky enough to receive it. This card may look hard, but I promise it's not once you know what to do. So come with me to the craft table and we'll get started. You may have heard the line, "Be a rainbow in someone else's cloud." I just love that quote from Maya Angelou, and it's one I wholeheartedly believe in too. And what better way to spread some sunshine and positivity than to send someone a rainbow? Isn't this waterfall card just the cutest? I absolutely love the way that the clouds flip as you pull it up to reveal the rainbow. It's impossible not to smile when you're playing with one of these. So let's make one to send to someone special today. To make this waterfall card, you need some good quality cardstock is important. I'm using solid core cardstock. I'm using Recollections brand today, but you could also use Cricut, Cardstock Warehouse, Coordinations, or American Crafts cardstock. They're all good quality cardstocks. I'll use one sheet of each red, orange, yellow, green, and white. You'll also need cardstock for your cloud pieces. I'm using 5 shades of blue from the Blue Ombre cardstock pack that's listed in my supplies list. Next, you need another 2 sheets of cardstock in a coordinating color, like the dark blue from the Ombre pack, and 1 or 2 sheets of pattern paper, which are optional but very fun for our card and envelope liners. You'll also need something to cut your cardstock. You can totally cut this project by hand, and I am sharing a printable template for you to do that. But to make it a bit easier, I'm going to use my awesome Cricut Maker cutting machine. You can also make this waterfall card with a Cricut, any Cricut Maker or Explorer series cutting machines, as well as other cutting machines. It's even possible to make the waterfall card on a Cricut Joy if you're willing to cut one piece, the 5x7-inch rectangle, with a trimmer instead. It's really easy. If you're making this on a Cricut like I am, you'll also need a green standard grip machine mat, a brayer, a spatula, and a scraper, and some craft glue. I'm using Barely Art Precision Glue because it works really well for cardstock projects like this. The only other thing you need is the design. So let me show you where to get my waterfall card design totally free so you too can make this fun and easy project with big wow factor. Step 1, get the waterfall card design. To find the free card and envelope designs, go to jennifermaker.com/478 and look for libraries in the red bar at the top. Then click either Get a Password if you don't yet have one, or click Enter the library. You can find the design by searching for number 478 and then click it to download the zip file. If you're not sure how to do this, go to jennifermaker.com/svgs to learn how to unzip and upload files. Inside, you'll find a PDF file for cutting your card and envelope by hand, and digital SVG and DXF cut files for cutting machines. I'm going to show you how to cut your card and envelope using a Cricut cutting machine. And for that, we use SVG files. If you're cutting this card by hand, just skip to step 3. I've included a version of the card design with score lines that you can cut using a scoring tool, and a version with dash cut lines that uses the fine point blade that came with your Cricut cutting machine. The scored versions have score tool or stylus in the file name, and the dash cut line versions have no score tool needed in the file name. If you want to make a version with the score lines using a scoring wheel or stylus, check out my tutorial on how to make envelopes at jennifermaker.com/how-to-make-an-envelope to learn how to adjust the files. All score layers in the files have a red color swatch, no fill color in the layers panel, and are grouped with their corresponding cut layers. For this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make the card and envelope using the files with the dashed cut lines that uses your regular fine point blade, because it's the easiest for beginners. First, upload the envelope file with no score tool needed in the file name to Cricut Design Space. Now upload the card file with the same no score tool needed. Now hold down your Shift key to select both the card on the envelope files and then click Add to Canvas. Step 2. Prepare and cut your waterfall card design. Here's what our waterfall card and envelope designs look like on my canvas in Cricut Design Space. You can zoom out to see all of the elements by clicking on the minus sign on the lower left. Drag the design files apart so you can see the card on one side of your canvas and the envelope on the other. The design is set up to make one 5x7-inch card and one standard size A7 envelope which fits the card. Both the card and envelope designs have liners too that are super cute when made with pattern paper. If you're cutting both the card and envelope liners, make sure to change the color of those pieces in Design Space so they cut on separate mats from the other elements. To begin, select the card file on your canvas and click the Ungroup button right here. Then click off of the design to deselect everything. Select the 4x6-inch yellow rectangle on your canvas, then change its color by clicking the color swatch and choosing a new color. I'll make mine gray. Do these same steps with the envelope liner too. Select the file, click Ungroup, deselect everything, and then change the color of the scalloped white piece to gray. Since we're using the dash cut line version of the files, that's all we have to do. Our card and envelope are ready to cut. Check that the right machine is listed in the top right corner and then click Make It. If prompted, click On Mat 12 by 12 inches and confirm. On the Prepare screen, make sure the mats look correct. If something looks off, go back and fix any mistakes. If you're using 8.5 by 11-inch paper for any of your pieces, you'll need to change the material size for those mats. Once you've changed the size of your first mat, the remaining mats of the same color will change to match, so you don't have to edit each one individually, but only if they're the same color. If your pattern paper is any size besides 12 by 12 inches, change the material size on those mats too. My paper is A5 sized, or 5.8 by 8.3 inches, so I'll select that setting. If everything looks good, click the first mat again and then click Continue. On the Make screen, choose your material settings. We can use the medium cardstock setting for all of our mats. Change the pressure to more for cleaner cuts. And here's a tip. If you're using the same weight and type of cardstock for all your mats, and the Remember Material Settings box is available, check it to save time between cuts. Place your first mat's cardstock face up on your green standard grit machine mat, and use a brayer to make sure it's fully adhered. Check that your fine point blade is clean and in clamp B. Now load the mat into the machine and press the flashing button to start cutting. When the cut is finished, unload the mat, flip it over, and roll it back to release the cardstock. This helps prevent your cardstock from curling or ripping. If necessary, use a scraper tool to remove any pieces left on your mat. Continue cutting the rest of your mats. When you're finished, your waterfall card and envelope pieces should look similar to mine. Step 3. Assemble your waterfall card. First, find the two largest rectangular pieces. These will form the base of the card. To attach them, apply a small amount of glue to the back of the smaller piece. I put a line of glue around the outside edge and just enough glue in the center to hold it down without causing warping. A little glue goes a long way. Then center it face up within the larger rectangle. Next, find the 10 cloud pieces. 5 of them will be white and 5 of them will be varying shades of blue, if you did it like me, of course. Make sure the details of the clouds are oriented in the same direction. See how the top one has one big puff on one side and a smaller one on the other? Make sure they're all laid out the same way. This is very important or things won't come together right. Now apply some glue to the back of each white cloud and attach them to the center of each of the blue clouds. Gather the pieces for the rainbow slider. You'll have one long blue piece with raindrop cutouts at one end, as well as one white semicircle shape. There will also be 4 other strips in red, orange, yellow, and green. These are our rainbow stripes. Fold along all of the scored or dashed lines on your blue piece and rainbow strips, with all creases in the same direction. You can use a scraper tool to get nice sharp creases. Now get your semicircle piece. Apply glue to the back of the large slider piece behind the raindrop cutouts. The back of your slider piece will be the side with the folded sections facing away from it. Make sure to not get glue too close to the cutouts. Align the rounded edges and press together to attach. Now we can attach our rainbow stripes to the front of the slider piece. On the opposite side of where you glued your raindrop liner, apply a thin line of glue to the back of the largest section on the red stripe. Don't add glue to the top 4 folded sections quite yet. Remember, the back of the stripe is the side with the folded sections facing away from it. Now make sure you're adding the stripe to the correct side. Attach it to the bottom of the slider piece along the very left edge. When the stripe is correctly positioned, the first crease above the largest section of the red stripe will line up with the first crease of the slider piece, and the left edges of both pieces will be aligned. Now we'll attach the remaining sections of the red stripe. Add 4 small lines of glue to the blue slider piece within each of the next 4 folded sections, avoiding the creases. Carefully press the 4 sections of the red stripe against the slider piece, making sure each of the creases are aligned as you go. Now fold the attached pieces at each crease to make sure they're aligned properly. If you notice any areas catching or wrinkling, reposition them quickly before your glue dries. Attach the remaining orange, yellow, and green rainbow stripes using the same process. You can easily align each stripe's left edge by pressing it into place against the previous stripe's right edge. Check as you go to make sure all the creases are aligned. When you're finished, your rainbow stripes should look similar to mine. Next, we can attach the cloud pieces. Start by attaching your bottom cloud first. My bottom cloud is the darkest shade of blue, which matches the color of my slider piece. We'll attach it to the largest folded section of the slider piece on the back side, the same side we attached the rainbow liner to earlier. Start by folding over your slider piece at the first crease so the folded sections completely cover the rainbow stripes. The largest section will be at the bottom. This is where we'll attach the bottom cloud. Now align the top part of the cloud to the crease at the top of this section. In the spot you'll attach it on the slider piece. See the areas where the cloud covers the slider? This is where we'll apply our glue. Make sure the cloud shape does not extend above this crease, as that will cause problems with the waterfall effect later. Remove the cloud and add glue to the bottom section of the slider piece. Don't get any glue on the upper folded sections yet, and be careful not to apply glue to the uncovered areas outside of the cloud shape, or your slider might not slide. With the white side facing you, carefully attach the cloud to the slider. Hold it for a few seconds to let the glue set. For the top 4 clouds, we will only be attaching their top sections to the slider piece. The bottom of each cloud will remain unattached, so the sliding part of the card can move freely. Let's attach the cloud that goes right above this one. Mine is this dark teal color. Just like before, place the cloud piece on the slider piece in its correct spot before applying any glue. Add glue to your slider's folded section just above your first attached cloud. Carefully place the next cloud onto the glued section of your slider and press down until the glue dries. Repeat these steps for the 3 remaining clouds, paying attention to the color of each one as you attach them so you get them in the order you prefer. I created an ombre effect with mine with my lightest blue cloud at the top. Remember not to let the tops of any of the clouds extend above the creases, or the card may not work the way you expect. The last step is to attach the assembled rainbow slider to the card base using the holder piece. The dashed lines are there to help you align the holder piece on your card. On the same side as the rainbow stripes, align the dashed lines on either side of the slider base piece. Apply some glue and attach it to the assembled slider, just behind the bottom cloud. When correctly positioned, the holder piece will extend out past the cloud on either side. Now fold the slider over so the rainbow stripes are completely covered. Flip the folded slider over to the back side with the raindrop liner. Apply just enough glue to each side to hold the slider in place on the card base. The only parts of the assembled slider that should be attached to the card base are the left and right edges of the holder. If you accidentally glue any of the other parts to the card base, your finished waterfall card will not work properly. Flip your slider back over so the clouds are facing you. Line up the upper edge of the top cloud with the upper edge of the card liner. Make sure your slider is centered from left to right on the card base and press down to adhere it. Don't worry if you notice a small sliver of cardstock extending past the edges of the card liner. This is here to help cover any gaps in case your slider isn't perfectly centered on the card. And that's it. When the glue is completely dry, pull down on the raindrop section of the slider piece to see the amazing waterfall effect in action. Now we'll assemble the envelope. Gather your large piece with the rainbow design cutout, the 3 flat pieces, and the liner piece. Fold the flat pieces along the scored or dashed lines, all in the same direction. Use your scraper tool to get nice, sharp creases. Now we'll attach the left and right flaps, the 2 smaller pieces, to the large base piece. If you cut your envelope on paper with a different color or pattern on each side, make sure you attach the flaps to the back or inside of the base piece. Apply glue to the thin tab section on each flap piece. Align the edge of the fold at the left and right edges of the envelope base. Make sure the tops of the flaps don't extend past the fold on the envelope base. Press down to attach. Now attach the large flap to the bottom of the envelope base using its tab. Make sure it's centered from left to right and the edge of the fold is aligned to the bottom edge of the base piece. If you cut an envelope liner, you can attach it patterned side down to the top section of the envelope base so it shows through the rainbow cutout. Apply glue to the base piece, avoiding the very edges and the cutout sections. Don't apply any glue below the fold. Position the flat edge of the liner just slightly above the fold on the base piece. Center it so there's an even amount of the top flap visible around the other edges, and then press it down to adhere it to your envelope. See how the cute pattern shows through the cutout? It's awesome. Finally, fold all the flaps inward toward each other. Then apply a small amount of glue to the areas where they overlap. Press down to adhere them together. The key is to use a small amount of glue. Make sure you don't get any glue on the inside of your envelope or you won't be able to put your card inside. Now your envelope is finished. When it's fully dry, slide your assembled waterfall card inside, seal it with tape or a cute sticker, and it's ready for mailing. If you want to seal your envelope with a sticker that you made, check out my tutorial for learning to make easy print and cut stickers with your Cricut at jennifermaker.com/easy print and cut stickers. Step 4, show it off. And we're done. Here's what my finished waterfall card and its matching envelope look like. I just can't get over how cute it is, and I can't wait to pop it in the mail. Be aware, though, that because of the size and shape of the card and the envelope, it will require extra postage. I recommend using 2 stamps to send your rainbow waterfall card. It is so fun to pull this and get the waterfall effect. I can't stop playing with it. Like seriously, it's so much fun. I think I'll write some fun messages on the clouds and then put it in the envelope and mail it to someone special. This is such a bright and easy way to add some cheer to someone's day. And think of all the ways that you could customize this design. The possibilities are literally endless. If you want to make more super unique cards like this, I've got lots of tutorials on my blog at jennifermaker.com. I'll show you how to make shaker cards, impossible cards made from one sheet of paper, and really wonderful pop-up cards. I can even show you how to make them light up. Now, if you have any questions about making cards, or this waterfall card in particular, or anything else Cricut or craft related that you think I could help you with, please let me know. Leave your question below this video or come ask over in our Cricut Crafters group at jennifermaker.com/CricutCrafters. I would love to see your cards too. And that's it for today. Until next time, this is Jennifer Maker reminding you to craft a life you love.